Hello everyone, and it is here. Today I want to talk about a model called Florence 2. It allows us to prompt anything and mask it. If you look at me, you can type in a t-shirt, it will mask out a t-shirt, a face, or bookshelf, or wall. It's quite unbelievable what it can do. However, it does have some caveats and problems. I will talk about them as well. So let's go get started. There is a very easy way to install all the custom nodes. Is just to go to my Gumroad, the link is down there in the description. Get this workflow, just drag and drop the JSON file, and then go into the custom manager and install missing custom nodes. That will give you, it'll take you like a few seconds and you'll get everything running. Meanwhile, if you want to install everything manually, I will guide you through as well. First thing, we need to install some custom nodes. I will be using the ComfyUI manager for that. If you don't have it, I do have a video how to install ComfyUI manager. The link is in the description. Let's go to custom nodes manager. I need to go look for essentials, a basic collection of nodes that we really need to have to run everything. So I already have it installed. You need to install it as well. Then just click restart and you'll get it installed. The second node collection is ComfyUI Universal Styler. It will help us to get some text out. Then I go and I look for Florence. And the confusing part here is that we have two Florence 2 node packages and essentially two developers, KeyJai and SpacePXL. You can see here the KeyJai has more stars. It's the latest package, has been updated as the latest, and I did install it. It's very similar to SpacePXL, which I already installed. However, I had to rewrite a segment of code to make it run because now it's a bit outdated for the latest version of ComfyUI. So to make everything simple, just stick to KeyJai package and we will be good. Let's start building our network. I'll double click, look for Florence, and I want to download and load Florence 2 model. So this will automatically download it to the hard drive, so you don't have to go and do a git clone and look for folders to put all the models in. However, to download these models, we first have to build the whole network. And then once we click on execute, click on queue, it will then go activate this node, go download it. So let's carry on building Florence setup. So I'll go Florence to run. This is our another one, which I here connect Florence 2 model to Florence 2 model input, get the image, load image. This is an image that automatically got loaded up from my last generation. So then I'll go have a preview image, and I have to do this outputs. If I don't do the outputs, it will not run the network and we will not be able to download the model. Then I'll go mask out, and it doesn't actually show me any mask options. I'll then go and look for preview mask. This is from the essential package we've downloaded. And then I need to output caption. Caption is a text data, and we need to capture the text. So for that, we have the show text from Universal Styler nodes, which we've downloaded before, and now I can run this. So I'll click on Q, and it should try to capture a description of the model. And what it's doing right now, it's trying to download the model. So it might take you a few minutes or more, depending on the speed of your internet. I open the command prompt. You can see here our downloading process. It downloaded and ran the model. What in this particular task did, it did it actually understood what's in the image and it created a bounding box of each prop. We have crown and we have a skull. In our case, we won't be using that much of these bounding boxes. They're not that useful. We'll be creating proper like mask. But let me go back to download and load Florence model. There are different models here. We have Florence 2 base and we have Florence 2 FT. FT stands for fine tuned. The website I found description that it's like finely tuned for specific purposes. And to be honest, I don't recommend downloading them because it's kind of a waste of time. They give a worse result than the base model. Then we have a large model. Large model I highly recommend to download. It takes quite a bit longer to process the image. That creates way better masks. The most important part of this network is this task. So if I click on it, we get a drop-down list with a few options. Some of those options I don't even know about because the Florence 2 model is a heavy research model for a lot of applications. Here I'm just using it for the masks of different objects. However, it can be used for RoboVision, a lot of object recognition, for car vision, a million of tasks. For example, it can list a description of the object. So in this case, I switch task to Caption. And if I press Ctrl Enter, it will run and try to describe what it's seen on the image. And it didn't give me an output of the text here, which is a little bit bizarre, because if I go to the column prompt, I can actually see the prompt which we got. I did update the manager and everything that, run it on a different machine, which was just fine. So some kind of glitch, which again is not a big deal, because we're not really aiming to get a prompt out of the image that we are looking at. What we will be using basically all the time is this referring expression segmentation. With this task on, I will type in the stuff I want to get out, the skull, Ctrl Enter, run the whole process. Let's wait a second. And there we go. I got quite a nice mask of the skull. I could try to go and say, look for crown. And for me, it's quite astounding that we can just type in what we see in the image and it will go and search for it. And it didn't get a good mask of the crown, because AI models, unfortunately, are not perfect. And this will happen time to time. However, when I reverted to the base model from large, I ran it with the same prompt and I got a good mask of the crown. Yeah, I just have to swap models every now and then. So what's next, right? We got our mask. Next is Inpainting. We want to use this to inpaint other stuff. I will look for Inpaint model conditioning, and then I will go plug our mask in here, and I will use our load image, original image, and I drag it all over here. We don't want to use the image from our Florence to run node, because it's actually outputting image with this blue mask, so it's already altered. Then we need to create a standard text to image network. So I will go load checkpoints, our model. I'm using the Epic Photogasm model. You can find it in the description. Then I need our clip nodes, clip text node, prompt positive, and Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, prompt negative, and I'll right click, color it in red, and color it in green. Then I need the K-sampler. I'm not connecting the prompts to K-sampler yet. I'm connecting them first to the Inpaint model, and then I'm going through and connecting them to the K-sampler. If you don't know much about K-sampler or these node networks, please check my introduction to ComfyUI. The link is in the description. So let me go connect the model through, then VAE goes to Inpaint model conditioning, and then the latent goes from our Inpaint model conditioning to latent image in a K-sampler, and then we need to decode, VAE decode, and we want to save this image out. There we go. Then I want to type in a prompt, and I want to switch the crown to silver, and I want to change the denoise. Denoise is the most important value here. It's controlling the mixing between the prompt and the original image. So I'll drop it down to something like 62%. Control Enter to run it, and it says I'm missing a VAE connection. So I'll go drag it out across, and look at this. It's beautiful. What I like usually to do is I like to do image comparison. It's a part of RG3 package. And I will plug in this guy into image A, and I'll plug in the original guy in the image 2. And now I actually have to run the whole generation again. So it'll probably give me a different result. But otherwise, you'll not get the image comparer to be activated. And there we go. I just modified the crown using mask, using prompt for the masking, which is honestly quite insane. Next, I want to show how to decrease complexity of the process. Here I'm using a photo of the tiger I made, and I'll do a shameless plug. This is a photo stock I co-founded. Then I will select everything here and press Ctrl B, because I don't want that to run. I just want to test out the masks now. I want to type in tiger right here and see what I get. And this is what I'm getting. I'm not getting the full body of tiger, I'm getting the front, but the back leg is still there and it doesn't get captured. So how do we capture that? For that, we want to combine two masks together, and I need to do a different prompt. So Control C, Control Shift V. We copy all our connections, and I will say tiger, back, leg. I also need to do all those output nodes, preview image, mask, and caption. If I don't get the get text node, it will not run, even though we are not using this node at all. Duplicated this network. Let's run and see if we get the back leg with the new prompt. And we didn't. But when I swapped the model to Florence large, I went more creative with the prompt, tiger black stripes front and back, I got the back leg. So it's a bit of AI magic here. Of course, I tried a lot of prompts. I tried like 10 different prompts to get it. And now we have the back leg, we have the front body. So we just need to put this all together using a mask composite node. And I will go mask destination and mask source, which should really be just called A and B. And operation is add, because we add in white to white. Multiply will actually remove everything. And we can Control C, Control V a preview node. Let's just see how it looks. And we got it, a full mask of the tiger. So then I will go and Control B. It kind of likes to do this thing. Unblock all those nodes, and I drag the mask, the composite mask, to our Inpaint model conditioning. And I actually didn't change the prompt. I ran it with silver, and we got a silver colored monkey tiger. But I want to do something a little bit more logical. I'll go with cat. And there we go, we're getting a cat. Also, I really like how it's replacing some elements with the nearby colors and say vegetation, right? So it's replacing the bottom jaw with the vegetation nearby. It's doing a really intelligent mixing. So you can see here, it's getting like a rock at the bottom on the paw. And I mean, it's not far from being a great generation. We really have to run it again and again and again. But what it's doing here is very cool. Another case study here, I've imported a 3D model, a sculpt I did before, few years back, and I am looking for the face. It gets the mask of the face. I've prompted male, and it inpainted the face of a different person right here. Then I changed the denoise into a smaller value to 25%, and I got a result which reminds the original guy a little bit more. Though it kind of struggles with this weird anatomy I put in, with the horns and like a piercing at the bottom. So it replaces it with the beard, but it's kind of expected. One little tip I recommend, change the control after generate from randomize to fixed, so it doesn't regenerate the mask again and again and again when you're doing generations using different prompts. The next case, I have my selfie, and I typed in glasses. I got a pretty decent mask of glasses. What I want to do, I want to change my frame of glasses. I cannot really mask that out. It's kind of maybe too small or finicky for Florence to capture it, so I was unable to do it with a prompt. However, we can do it, we can achieve it using few masking nodes. I want to find an invert mask node. This is a basic config core node, plug it in inside. So now we have inverted mask previews along the way. And then I want to grow this mask to create a border by subtraction. So then we'll go mask grow mask, config core by default. I will expand it by 10 pixels. The white will go and shrink the black. Do another preview. So you can see it shrinking it now. And then I want to subtract this mask and that mask. Now I need my composite node, mask composite, and I plug it into destination, and I plug it the original mask into the source. I want to multiply, so to subtract black, and let's do another preview. Control V, let's do a preview. You can see, voila, we got our border of the frames. Then I'm using this mask composite output, and I'm dragging it all the way into the Inpaint model conditioning, and I type in silver for my material on my glosses, the denoise is at 50%, and then I will run it. Control Enter. You can see it is doing something. I kind of failed to achieve a really good result here, and I tried different denoising values, different prompts. Sometimes it's slightly better than another. However, I just wanted to show how we can combine different mask workflows, get that mask with a prompt, use a traditional VFX or masking basically anywhere, masking workflow in any other app where you raw masks, abstract it, then you can also apply it to, say, a video, and it always be kind of there. But that's about it. So the workflow is on my Gumroad. You can check it out, download it, and let's catch up in the next video.